All right, New Era Wrestling fans, let me start this off with an apology. We are 10 days removed from Eye of the Storm. I should have had this to you sooner. Between technical difficulties, my schedule, and one other little teensy tiny matter, it's been a little difficult to get this put together. However, none of that is an excuse. That other teensy tiny matter, though, it's actually kind of a big deal. I didn't even know until just now what match was going to be match of the night from Eye of the Storm. I had it narrowed down to four. 4 out of 8 matches. They took it up a notch. Those other 4 matches were great. But those 4 that I was torn between, top notch. Well, we'll get to that. Let's talk about a couple of things first before we get into this. For those of you out there that do not know, the Eye of the Storm is a term that defines the part of a hurricane that is a small zone of calm in the midst of chaos. Now, if you were part of that standing room only crowd at Mile High Comics on April 9th, and I was standing. If you were part of that standing room only crowd, you know that there was no zone of calm that night. It was chaos from beginning to end. I lived for chaos. It was amazing. I loved it. All right. Let's start talking about the chaos that we watched. Eye of the Storm. We've got Joe Cool back announcing. That's great. It means he can wear his glasses. We don't have to worry about him missing a call because the Angry Hobbit won't let him have his glasses on. I'm all for this. He announces Bearded Lady. Bearded Lady comes down to the ring. Before we can find out who Bearded Lady's opponent is, Daddy Doom comes out. Hey, I'm pretty excited by this. I can't tell you how excited I am to see Daddy Doom. But she comes out accompanied by Jacob Thorne and Brumach? How did this come about? Then again, she comes out with Adrian Grimm, so maybe that's not too weird. As they are attacking the Bearded Lady, who should make a return to make the save? Bruce Rogers comes running out. That's right, the former New Era Wrestling Heavyweight Champion comes out and makes the save for the Bearded Lady, which led us into a tag team match. Brumach and Jacob Thorne taking on the Bearded Lady and Bruce Rogers. I'm not going to lie, this match was actually pretty decent, even though Matty Scrumptious was refereeing. Daddy Doom on one side of the ring and Matty Scrumptious as the ref, you should automatically think something fishy's going on. But Matty called this right down the middle. We'll go with that. Bruce and Jacob Thorne started this off. We got a quick tag to the Bearded Lady. Thorne's flattened but still moving. What is it going to take to put a stop to this guy? We got the clam slam. We got a double team maneuver. We got a near fall on Thorne, but that guy's slippery. I don't know. Daddy Doom and Ursula exchanging words at ringside. Thorne reverses Bruce into a near fall. Beat down on Thorne, but as we've discussed, it's like hitting silly putty. I mean, he doesn't even feel it. I haven't figured that out yet. Eric, you created a monster. Thorne reverses Bruce into a near fall. The beatdown continued. Thorne reverses a pin attempt into a pin attempt. Matty with a quick count, but Bearded Lady kicks out at 2. Brew in for the first time in the match. Brumach spent quite a bit of time on the apron letting Thorne take that beating, and take the beating he did. We're going to talk about this more in the coming months. I guarantee it. For now, let's get through this because we have a lot to get to. Thorne and Brumach are working together pretty effectively. You'd think they'd been a team for a while. Brumach gets a 2 on Bruce. Bearded Lady kisses Brumach. Thorne secretly hit the tag, double team maneuver. Thorne gets the 3 count on Bearded Lady. And after the match, Bruce got the kiss. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of surprised that this went as smoothly as it did. I mean, come on. Matty Scrumptious refereeing a match that involves Daddy Doom in some way. Just wait till later. All right, up next, Crummy comes out to referee the match. Crummy, we've missed you, boy. Up next, we have Lipto taking on Methuselah. You all know who I mean when I say Methuselah. I am not explaining that. If you don't understand it, just take a look at him. The mummy wraps are starting to fall off. That's how old this guy is, all right? Methuselah took some hate and put it on Joe Cool because Joe announced Duff instead of him. Now, listen. Just want you guys to know. What really happened there is other people are starting to notice what I'm saying about how the Methuselah needs to retire. And we're trying to protect him and his opponents. And that's what happened. That is exactly what happened. Joe Cool saw an opportunity to try to protect Methuselah from himself. And so he tried to get Duff Doyle to come out to the match, and Methuselah did not like that. And poor Joe Cool got hurt in the process. His head was banged into the apron repeatedly. Hey, I hope you got that checked out, Joe Cool. I hope it didn't turn into a concussion. I feel really bad about that. Thank you for caring about Methuselah not hurting himself, even though he doesn't give a rat's, All right, up next. Oh, yeah, we didn't get to the up next shit. I didn't finish telling you about this match. Let's do that now. Lipto is just beating the Methuselah down. Then Damien takes control. That didn't last long. Dust is just coming off of Methuselah every time Lipto chops him. Lipto hits a backslide into a near fall. And then the old guy gets lucky and gets a 3 count. This is not one of the 4 matches. I'm sorry, Lipto. You deserved better. But this is not one of the 4 matches. During the course of this match, Morales, or probably after this match, because, Methuselah had just won, Morales asks, who's beating the War Dog? Morales, I just want you to know, old age. It's old age. That's what's beating Methuselah. Up next was a ref I didn't recognize, and nobody's told me who it is yet. For the next month's review, I will get his name in here if somebody tells me by then. I got a feeling that when I post this in the group, somebody will comment it. Thank you, whoever that is. Eric Angel versus Duff. Make my ears bleed Doyle. From where I was sitting, it sounded like a techno version of Cotton Eye Joe. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is one of the illustrious 4. I cannot stress this enough. If you missed this show, you missed something amazing here. You should have been here. You should have watched this match. Eric Angel wanted to rock it old school. Duff Doyle, well, he was Duff Doyle. That guy's been Duff Doyle for a while. There's not much different from how he was then versus how he is now. And that's not taken away from his talent. He is talented. I'm not saying he's not. But basically what he is now covers the kicking it old school. That's what I'm saying. This match was back and forth. TP came into play. The referee was not pleased. I don't know why. Apparently he's never watched a Duff Doyle match. I don't know. This was back and forth. I mean, you had 2 of the best in the business beating each other down and exchanging blows. And in the end, Duff countered a sunset flip into a pin and got the 3 count, and they both shook hands after, but it didn't stop there. All of a sudden, Cotton Eye Joe got started again, and you had Duff and Angel dancing in the ring, and then you had Duff's brother, not Duff, join in. Hey, by the way, Jared, I stand by what I said on Facebook. I really think you should go as Duff Dow for Starfest. I think that it would be hilarious, and I want to see pictures of that. Again, this is one of my 4. This definitely could be match of the night. I can't stress that enough. This is one of the best matches in a while. And I say that every month. I know, but this was amazing. This was damn near flawless. All right, let's get to the next match, which coincidentally is also a match of the night contender. Up next with Matty Scrumptious back to ref again. Every time this guy comes out, I suspect he's up to something. But whatever. It's the New Era Tag Team Championship match. History in the making. Cody Devine, Mac, who you should always get to negotiate everything for you. If you don't have Mac negotiating for you, you're doing it wrong. With 10 out of 10, Logan taking on the Lucha Dogs, Delta Jr. and Rayo Plateado. These 2 have been champs for a long time, and I'm going to be honest with you, going into this match, you're looking at all this, and as good as Cody and Logan are, These two have been champs for a while. There's a reason for that. When you go into this match, you're thinking, these guys are walking out of here still your New Era Tag Team Champions. And New Era fans, you sang along with the Lucha Dogs intro. There's no words, but you made it work. Impressive, I gotta say. They started this off with chop tags, but by the time the match ended, Cody and Logan seemed like they were mostly on the same page. And damn, when those two are on the same page, magic happens. Logan and Rayo started the match off with speed and flips, and you got to expect that out of these two. Tags made. Delta and Cody came in. And then, here's that word again. I started the show off with it, and I'm saying it again. Chaos. This show was chaos. This match, no exception. You had Cody and Logan outside, Mac helping them up, Lucha Dogs flying in, Mac moves out of the way, and we see more cohesion from Logan and Cody. They actually look like contenders. Both sides wanted this win. They really did. 4-way chops, followed by 4-way super kick. Let me tell you something, guys. This was a magical match. Matt gets thrown out of the ringside area by Matty Scrumptious. Matt gets physical. Matty puts him on the mat. Anybody else notice that Matty's actually trying to toe the line? I'm even more suspicious now. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know what to make of this. Lipto attacks Delta while Matty has his back turned. Lipto? Dude, where did you come from? I didn't expect to see you involved in this match. Cody gets a pin, and the tag titles have changed hands. Cody Devine and Logan have taken the tag titles off of the Lucha Dogs. I know you didn't see it coming, because I didn't. What I did see coming was the Master Negotiator paying up for what happened. After the match, I saw some money exchange hands. Mac gave Lipto a little payment for what he did. That is how business is done. A service was rendered and payment was made. Anybody that has a problem with that, you don't understand how business is done, and you should learn. All right. After this, we went to intermission, and Joe Cool was back out to open up the second half. Junsu comes out, hypes the crowd. He explained last month how he went to the back and got laid out by Hunter Gray right before Hunter Gray came down to the ring. That's why Junsu wasn't there. I told you guys that last month when I did the review. They have video of it. Check it out if you didn't see it. Junsu came out to explain it to everybody and apologize for his lack of presence to save his partner. And he hypes his match with Ryzen. Guys, before we get to that match, I'm already torn. Junsu with his choppy. And Ryzen. Hail Ryzen. We'll get there. Up next was the 5280 Championship. And guys, my wrestler of the night came out of this match. I'm not going to lie. This was an amazing match. I love you, Jason Knoll. I just want you to know that before I say what's next. This was probably one of Jason Knoll's best matches since I've been at New Era. You put on good matches. I am not taking away from any of that. This was one of your best. Amazing job. And Villy, I become more and more impressed with you every single show. Keep that up. I love it. You did great. Guys, I'm not even going to run through all this. And the reason is because I was so engrossed in the match that I didn't take very many notes. Villy ends up taking the win. 1, 2, 3 over Jason Knoll. Villy is your new Era 5280 champion. That's right. Villy has put an end to the longest title reign in New Era Wrestling. Holy crap, guys. We literally just started the second half, and we've now reached 2 title changes. What's going to happen in the main event? We'll get there. I promise you. We're going to get there. Oh, everybody came out for this after the match. You had Bruce Rogers. You had Logan. You had Duff Doyle, the bearded lady, Ursula. They all came out to celebrate. And you know what, Villy? You deserve it. Congratulations on becoming the new 5280 champion. And Villy, you are Wrestler of the Month. I know my word doesn't mean a whole lot, but You're being named the New Era Wrestler of the Month for the month of April. Congratulations, my friend. You deserve it. All right, up next with Skylar coming out to ref, we have Reagan Grimes versus Daddy Doom. Daddy Doom loves to dish out pain, right? Reagan Grimes loves to take pain. Whoa! This is not going to be an easy match, right? Right. Can Daddy Doom dish out enough pain for Reagan Grimes to feel it? This was a great back and forth match. Until Thorne and Broom got involved and a masked assailant came out and pulled Skylar out of the ring. Skylar, who was in the middle of counting a pinfall. Skylar yells at the masked assailant, who removes his mask to reveal who else? Maddie Scrumptious. I knew you were up to no good, Maddie, but let's keep it in this realm. You know what I'm talking about. Your last outing in the other realm didn't work out so well. This, you're successful at. Don't ask me why. You are. Maddie lays out Skylar. Daddy lays out Reagan. Maddie removes the hoodie to reveal that he is still wearing his referee shirt. Of course he is. He just reffed earlier in the show. You think he went in the back and changed his clothes already? He threw a hoodie on and a mask to cover it up. I knew he had his ref shirt on. And if you didn't know that, you've not been around the wrestling business enough. Come, join us at shows more often. I promise you, it's worth it. He gets in the ring, counts the pinfall, and Daddy Doom wins. Guys, this was a great match. The drama at the end really heightened it. But this, sadly, did not make it onto my list for possible match of the night. It was great. Oh, ladies, you killed it. Maddie, you were successful at this. Not a contender. I'm sorry. I had 4 other matches. 2 of them we've heard about. Titles changing hands. Old school with Eric Angel and Duff Doyle. Ladies, you were amazing. And I look forward to continue watching you. And I think at this point it's safe to say one of these months I will be naming your matches match of the night. Guys, up next is one of the hardest matches for me on this entire card. You got the Choppy Choppy versus the Hail Rising. And at the risk of getting chopped, I have to go with the Hail Rising. I have to. That's just the way this works. It all translates back to things earlier in our career, and I'll take the chop for Rising. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. I will take the chop for Rising. I have to. That does not mean I love you any less, Junsu. Please don't chop me, but I'll take the chop for Rising. They started this off with Junsu dragging Rising around the ring and chopping him all around the ring. You had the power of Sin versus the power of the big guy. And let me tell you what. Sin is in. Bottom line, Sin is in. Morales said, "Why would you make Junsu angry? You wouldn't like him when he's angry." And Rising did shoot to make him angry early on in the match. Junsu hits a muscle buster. Rising kicks out. Rising misses the senton, gets hit with the Junsu bomb. 1, 2, 3. Junsu wins this. That's all right. My boy Rising, still one of the best in the business. Junsu, one of the best in the business. This was an amazing match. Contender for match of the night. But I still have one more match to tell you about, and that match is also contender for match of the night. All right. Main event. Quack comes down. Quack, quack, quack. Listen, I understand that maybe you really do have some certificate that makes you a doctor of some sort. I get that. But just because that certificate says you passed your classes and can claim the title of doctor, a doctor is so much more than a piece of paper. Your actions at these shows tell me you're not really a doctor. You don't live up to that. And that's fine. But I'm not the only one that feels that way. We'll get to that here in a couple minutes. Now he's out here and he's talking about how he wants to ban kids because they're all monsters. They should go to bed. And then all I heard after that was quack, 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 quack. Quack, quack, Mr. Ducksworth. Quack, quack. Crummy comes out to ref this match again. Crummy! Let me just announce it right now. Referee of the month, the Max Magius Referee of the month is James Crummy Crumpton. Congratulations, Crummy. Welcome back on top. Hunter Gray versus Kincaid for the New Era Heavyweight Championship. And Kincaid's career is on the line. If Kincaid loses his belt in this match, he's done. He has to retire from wrestling. It wasn't stated his career in New Era. It was stated his career. So if he doesn't win this match, if he doesn't retain his belt, he's out of the wrestling business. Now, I know Kincaid and I have had our war of words in the past. I know that I have stated that this man is soft. This man has stepped up, and he has shown me that he is not soft. So going into this match, there's only one outcome I'm hoping for. I am hoping for Kincaid to retain his belt, retain his career. Because without him, New Era would be a slightly drearier place. But let's talk about this match. This was a violent match. Hard hitting on both sides. Both men were motivated. I mean, like, thoroughly motivated to win this match. Hunter Gray has a chance to pick up a belt and put a guy out of the business. And Kincaid, well, not only is his career on the line, his belt on the line, but this man has said some horrible, horrible things about his wife and kids. Kincaid he wants a piece of the dock again. I'll tell you that. What he's got is a monster to overcome. Now, real quick, because I know you're going to watch this, Doc. That's a monster. Hunter Gray, he's a monster. Only a monster would take a kid's hat, put it on her head, get it all sweaty, and then give it back to the kid. That's a monster. He's a smart monster. He knows not to eat deodorant, apparently, but that's beside the point. At some point during the match, the Quack gets up on the apron and in front of everybody wedges a chair into the ring. You had Hunter watching. You had Kincaid watching. You had Crummy watching. Crummy, what are you thinking, man? The chair gets wedged in between the ropes. Oh, Hunter and Kincaid fought so hard trying to get the other one into that chair so they could finish this match. And eventually, that chair got used by Kincaid. Kincaid threw Hunter Gray into the chair. Kincaid is still your New Era Heavyweight Champion. Kincaid is still wrestling for all of you, for all of us, for everybody in the back, for his wife and kids. But maybe not for one man. Maybe not for Dr. Silver. You see, Dr. Silver got a little visit at the end of the show. Right after Junsu came out and ran Hunter off. Because, Hunter was trying to repeat what he did last month. And Junsu wasn't having it. Dr. Silver lost his mind. He's flipping out. And then Dr. Graybar came out with her associate. And they informed him that he had been misusing his medical responsibilities, his medical privileges, in such a way that they had no choice but to revoke his license. Dr. Silver is no longer a medical professional legally. But it doesn't end there, because up next, Dr. Graybar announced that they found him so negligent, they found cause to have him arrested. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed what happened next, all I can say is you should have seen it. Dr. Silver tried to fight back, resist arrest. Dr. Silver got tased in the middle of that ring, and I hope they tase him every day that he's in jail because he deserves it for what he put Kincaid and his wife and kids through. Ladies and gentlemen, say goodbye to Dr. Silver for a while, maybe forever. We can hope, right? Now, before I tell you which of the 4 matches I have picked as my match of the night, I want to point out one other thing. I told you Joe Cool opened the show. I told you Joe Cool opened the second half. I have mentioned the Angry Hobbit a couple of times. But what I did not mention was that he did not make an appearance. We didn't have to listen to him. We didn't have to listen. You're the reason that mistakes were made last month, and you tried to blame others. And then you stood there looking like Cletus the slack-jawed yokel. I hope you took the 9th off to reflect on what you've done and what you haven't done, so that way, on May the 14th, when you come back, you can do the right thing. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the right thing is right now, but I will tell you that it involves the title situation. All right, guys, your match of the night, because he was so humble when I told him he was in consideration, Kincaid told me that I should really give it to someone else. And that right there embodies something amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, despite his protests, the match of the night is going to be Kincaid versus Hunter Gray. And that will conclude the review of Eye of the Storm. I will see you May the 14th. At May the 14th be with you at Mile High Comics. Good night.